A presentation on Pablo Picasso's Woman Ironing by Joshua Wolf. This is the man behind the painting, Pablo Picasso. Some history about the man behind the painting. Pablo Picasso was a Spanish artist born in 1881 in the town of Malaga. He was raised in Spain before spending the rest of his adult life creating works of art in France. He was viewed as an immensely skilled artist at an early age by his father, Don Jose Ruiz y Blasco, who was also an artist. Picasso, in early life, was formally trained by his father after the discovery of his talent, while his father was also teaching in various art schools around Spain. Then at age 13, Ruiz realized his son had far surpassed him in ability to create art. In his life, Pablo Picasso has created more than 20,000 works of art, including paintings, sculptures, ceramic pieces, and drawings. He has even created some things such as theater sets and costumes. Picasso, along with Georges Braque, formed the Cubist movement, which was a movement that changed the face of European art forms forever and even inspired other movements in the future, such as constructivism. Here is the painting of Woman Ironing. The Woman Ironing is a painting, work of art created by Picasso in 1904. It deeply showed his emotion towards the working poor. It was created during Picasso's Blue period, in which melancholic works were created by him. Picasso himself was living in poverty during this time that it was painted, giving him a sense of empathy for the poor and the subject. With new technology and imaging, we can actually see that there was another portrait underneath of a man in an upside-down orientation. Of course, this is probably due to the fact that since Picasso didn't have much wealth during his time in early Paris, or his early time in Paris, he needed to be able to reuse canvases until he sold a painting, which he could use then to buy more materials with. Descriptive critique. Picasso's use of blue, white, and gray hues to emit the pale, cool colors allows us to examine the soul of this painting. The whole space of the canvas has been used, and you can see a faint, warmer color on the woman's arms and face, which to me depicts some sort of light. The medium is oil on canvas, and you can see curved and contour lines to form the woman and the table. The woman herself seems bent in an unnatural way. Overall, the painting makes me feel uneasy and full of sorrow. Contextual critique. Picasso suffered from poverty during his early years in Paris. Not only was he suffering, but he showed empathy for those around him living in the same conditions, which is brought out by the colors of the oil painting. As discussed earlier, the use of the canvas itself shows that Picasso was resourceful, using the canvas more than once due to not being able to acquire additional funds for extra materials, in hopes that he would sell something for money to continue living. In his early life, Picasso had a sister who died at the age of 7, which was no doubt tied to in some way to the emotions that were brought out in the Blue period of his painting career. Evaluative critique. Woman ironing is overall very well made for the form that was used. The sharp lines created to form the woman and the table direct the viewer to take a closer look at the visual depiction of what life was like in early 20th century France. The bent and shallow-eyed woman pressing down on the table with the iron shows the fatigue and weakness of that day in and day out laboring from most people in poverty at that time. The hues and empty colors support the emptiness one would feel, and the painting itself is filled with sorrow. I would say that Picasso did a great job of illustrating the impoverished lifestyle he and countless others around him lived, and communicated it very well through the colors, the shapes, and just the general tone of the painting.